Good morning. Thank you for viewing my video today. This is for AP Environmental Science. This is an informational video about changes that have happened with the College Board since we have gone on quarantine. So I am going to share my screen and show you some things on our Canvas webpage that'll help you remember what kind of changes have been made. I did send this out in Remind. It is an infographic, and I'm going to show you what that looks like because I did put it on my homepage as well. Oh, by the way, this is Mrs. Lohner dressed as a pineapple. Since nobody has been showing up for my chats, I decided to dress up and videotape myself, and I'll be placing the link on YouTube so you can catch up with this chat later on. So first of all, I'm going to share my screen. So here we go, sharing. Share screen. And I am officially shared, I believe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to our chat session. This is where I put that Zoom link. But what I'd like to show you is on my homepage. And so let's go to the homepage for AP Environmental Science. A little slow this morning. I hope everybody's doing all right, staying safe, wearing those masks. Here we go. We've got our ape here. He is starting out our homepage information. The first thing we scroll to, you've probably accessed this. Hopefully you've been accessing this time and time again, and that's the link to go to your class modules. That's of course how we usually access all of our information in Canvas when we're using our resources online. What I did add to the homepage, maybe you haven't scrolled down this far, maybe you did today and that's how you found me, but here are the times that you can log in and come into the chat room. There's a link that I've been providing recently to go to a Zoom session, but if you just don't feel comfortable coming into Zoom, you can do what I did and do a Snapchat filter, and you can come incognito, or you can just enter in the text on your computer in the chat room. So I'll be available to answer either way, either text or video. So there are the tutorial times. That may change a little bit. Check back. The times may be combined, so you can come anytime I'm in the office. What I did add that's really important to y'all if you're taking the AP environmental test is the resource offered by the College Board, and that's this link that I'm showing you right here. Free review sessions online. These are the classes that College Board has put together. What they've done is invited people from around the country that have taught this class for many years and are experts at it to present the information. Most of the information is going to come as a review to you because we did cover most of the units, but what you're going to find out is that not all units will be tested. The last couple of units for environmental science have been dropped from the test, but as you know, that test has changed format, and we're going to talk about that as well. What I did was I hit that link to the free classes online. It takes you to a YouTube channel sponsored by the College Board. AP Environmental Science is what we're doing, and funny enough, they have listed the 2 units that they've dropped off of the syllabus, and for this year only. Next year, of course, we're going to pick them up, but units 8 and 9 are not going to be directly tested, although we know human impacts on the ecosystems is brought up consistently. So there are certain things that you may want to review. And these are very helpful units because if you do go on to study environmental science in college, it's quite possible that they're going to want you to know this. So you might want to go back and pick it up. So if we scroll down, we'll see how each of them has a time that they lasted, how long they are, and then you're going to run into some that are listed as live. And so they have a prescribed time that you can log into YouTube and see these presentations live, or you can go back and view them at your leisure. And you'll notice that they do start after those 2 units that are listed first, unit 8 and 9. It does start with those beginning units that we covered at the beginning of the year, the ecosystems, energy flow, food chains, and going through all the systems, the cycles, the carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, and you can scroll down and see how that is the complete year there at your disposal. And so I would encourage you, if you're taking the AP Environmental Science exam, to go back and use this resource that the College Board has offered you. It's a lot of good information, and I think that they're trying to show you how all of those units are going to fit together into one cumulative, or actually 2 cumulative questions. And so let's take a look. Let's go back to our webpage. I'm still, of course, sharing my screen. I've got the free review sessions we just looked at. And now here's this infographic, AP Environmental Science exam, updates for the 2020 exam administration. We've got it happening on Monday, the 18th. You may have gotten an email from the College Board talking about a makeup date. That makeup date is not an alternative date. I just want you to bear that in mind. Your test date is Monday, May 18th at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's Eastern Time. I have a list of how that coincides with our own time zone. I put the times for all the AP exams on my webpage, and we'll look at that in just a minute. So your test is scheduled for May 18th. And if there is any problem with you taking the test, you would need to fill out a form, and you would be able to take the test on the alternate makeup test date. But that has to be something that you can substantiate, something that you can describe as to a power outage or the internet went out, or something that you can validate. They would, of course, be able to look up when you logged in and what kind of problems that you were having. And so again, a legitimate concern keeps you from taking the test. There is a backup date, but don't rely on that as a test date. We want to all take the test on the day that it's scheduled. So once you're able to log in, and they do recommend that you log in early, they want you to log in about 30 minutes early to allow yourself time for any glitches or just to get all the forms filled out. You will have received a ticket by that time. An email will come to you, and you will have some way to enter into the testing environment. And so that 30 minutes prior to the time that the test starts is going to be utilized by just getting set up. So we don't want to be frantic at the test time trying to get it all done. As I mentioned, Unit 8 and 9 are not on the test, but again, there are components that may cross over a little bit, like that human impact on ecosystems. That's a big one that we talk about time and time again. The format is going to be FRQ for both of the questions. They'll give you 2 free response questions. The first one will be 25 minutes long, and you'll have just that time to read and respond to it. And then following your response, you'll have 5 minutes to upload that test. Then for the second question, you'll have 15 minutes to answer it. And again, an additional 5 minutes to upload it onto the system, to upload your response onto the system. You cannot go back after you have uploaded your response. If, say, you were working on question 2 and said, oh yeah, I gotta say something about my response in question 1, you can't go back. Once it's uploaded, that's it. You've moved on to the second question. So again, units will only be 1 through 7. We'll be finishing up our units here in the next week or 2, and we'll be ready to take our environmental science exam on the 18th. This is an open note, open book test, but let's bear in mind that you only have 25 minutes for the first test, or for the first question, and 15 minutes for the second question. You're not going to have a whole lot of time to dig and try to look up answers. And this isn't that kind of test. This isn't an information retrieval test. This is a critical thinking test. This is a test that you're going to be analyzing data and trying to base your predictions on that analysis and justify them. And so in saying it's open note and open book, you may want to line out all the highlights for each unit. I'd go back to those blue boxes that I showed you from the curriculum and exam description published by the College Board, and identify those learning objectives and make sure you understand what was trying to be communicated in those units. Of course, all of our past content is posted onto Canvas, so you can look this up pretty easily and find those blue boxes at the beginning of each of the lecture notes. So going on, you will be able to take the test on any kind of device that you have. If you have a laptop, if you have an iPad, if you want to use your phone, you can do that. You can even handwrite your responses and then take a picture of it and upload that. So there's all different ways that excuse me, College Board is trying to accommodate everybody's situation, and of course accommodate you if there's some problem. And again, that's why you have that backup date if you lost power, for example. And again, there's a reminder here under this section that I'm reading to you about the 30 minutes that you want to get on there early. Okay, FRQ1 In FRQ2, you've got 60% of your score is coming from the first question, and the type of question it's going to be is considered question 1. In the College Board course and exam description publication, they have a list of 4 types of questions, and they're giving you the type of question that's going to be on the test. So they're trying to help you out here. They're saying it's going to be question 1 and question 2. The first one is design, that's, sorry, misspelling, an investigation. And so this is going to present you with a scenario accompanied by a model or some kind of graphic. And you're going to describe the concepts involved, the processes, and the models and how they're presented. You're going to analyze it and the data, and then you're going to analyze research studies that test environmental principles, and then you're going to describe problems and or potential solutions. When they're asking for a solution, you need to be very specific about what your solution is so that they understand how you've thought about all the different aspects of the problem you're trying to solve. The second question is a type 2 question, analyzing an environmental problem and propose a solution. We've done these in class. The FRQs that I've given you are along the lines of what you'll be seeing on the test. You'll have to look at the overall scenario and then, of course, provide a solution and justify it with some type of backup research. And so once again, these are questions that we've done in our class together. The one thing I can assure you of, there won't be any calculations that you'll have to do. You won't have to graph anything, and you won't have to draw any kind of a model. So that kind of takes a little pressure off because of the different applications and abilities of people's computers. They don't want to limit you and put you into a stressful situation where you can't produce a graph. So no graphing, no drawing, no calculations for you guys. And so that's good news. Exam security, you can't work with another student. That's one thing. I mean, I know when you hear open book, open note, you think, oh, wow, we'll just get together and have a live chat. That isn't allowed. Plagiarism detective software is going to be used to make sure you're not just copying and pasting. Not that you would do that. And then, of course, we want to make sure that everybody is doing their own work, and with the kind of questions that the College Board is asking you, then that should offset anybody's ability to cheat. And so hopefully this information has helped you. If you need more information, please feel free to visit the College Board website. I've provided you a link down here at the bottom. And then, of course, the YouTube channel that all of those review sessions are on. I've put that on my homepage as well. So I hope this has helped answer any questions that you have about that upcoming test. And I hope that everybody is doing well. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer questions by email or remind, and of course, these live chats. I hope to see everybody soon, and y'all have a terrific weekend.